I started boxing because I was getting in a lot of fights when I was younger. High school, I used to get in a fight like every week. I was fighting every single weekend. People, I don't know, I was just, when I finished high school, I ended up going to Ajax to get out of trouble. I moved back to Ajax. I lived in Scarborough for a while. And then I found a boxing gym. First day I went in there, I went in and sparred, and the guy he literally beat me up like pretty bad. Like I came back the next day and wanted to spar him again. But the coach just took it to me, and ever since then I've never been beat up before, so I liked it. I used to just snap so easily, but now that I'm in the ring all the time, and like they teach you a little bit of everything. Like for some reason I'm so much more calm now, and like I react to things differently. Like it's not as easy as it looks. Like boxing is a hard sport. You just can't get in there and fight. Like it's not like the street. Anybody can fight. You got to pick your shots, and it's a different game. For some reason, every show, my fan base keeps getting bigger and bigger. So this show so far, I've got 8 tables and almost 300 tickets of people that are coming to support the show. So it's going to be a great atmosphere. I don't come to pitter-patter or win the fight. I come to knock the guy out. Like I'm coming to win. Like I'm not coming to lose. Someone's going to get dropped. I like watching boxing a lot, but I think I have my own type of style. I used to love when Tyson used to fight back in the day. I just like how he knocked people out like that. But as of skill-wise, I think people might not agree. But he's a little cocky or everything, but he has the skills, right? Like he's never lost. Look how much money he makes every fight. But either way, I think I just like the style I have. I change my style every fight. People have told me I've had a style like Brandon Rios. A guy that was calling the fight named Al Bernstein, he was commentating and saying I have a similar style to him. And he said down the road he thinks I could be better than him. I still have a lot to work on. I'm only 7-0. Like there's a lot to know about boxing. Every single day you learn something new. So you just got to keep going at it and keep training hard. And when I first started, I was actually a headhunter. I just wanted to knock everybody out, but as you know, everybody always says you hit the body, the head will follow. So I don't know, for some reason my coach always has me working on the body, and then every time people drop their hands and then upstairs is open. So you gotta keep, I don't like body shots myself. I'd rather get punched in the face all day. But a lot of people just headhunt, right? So if you mix it up a bit, no one knows where you're gonna punch. So there's so many different angles you can punch from. Looking forward to a great fight. Like I've been training twice a day. I work full time. Like I go to work Monday to Friday. I work about 44 hours a week. I train every morning, 6 days a week I train right now. Some days I train twice a day, some days only once because I have to work for like 12 hours.
What do you do for work?
I install windows and doors to protect glass. Yeah. And my boss, he's lenient with me. He gives me time off when I need it. He comes to the show. He buys a table every time. He enjoys it. He has all the customers come out, and I have a lot of work out in Mississauga, so everybody comes and checks it out. And every single person keeps bringing more people, so it's pretty cool.
I started boxing at 19 to start losing weight, basically. I was a chubby little boy. At first, it was just that it was so hard, and it was a big challenge. And once I started getting into it, it was actually a great challenge for anybody. So I decided to continue and see how far I could get it. My favorite part about Fight Night is getting in there and doing what I trained for a couple months, and basically trying to take heads off. Well, anytime I get a chance to know ahead of time who I'm fighting, I'd like to study him a little bit and get as much info as I can, and then emulate my game plan or how I'm going to fight that night. And I look for strengths, right? Some people look for weaknesses. I look for strengths, and then I try to neutralize that. And usually my strengths will, get the better of them. So I try to look for their strengths and see how I can neutralize that. My biggest asset is I love to fight. No matter what, if you're a better boxer, faster, stronger, we're fighting. You know, when you drop one guy with a punch, you don't really learn anything. Right? You don't get the rounds in, and you don't get, you know, the crowd going, what they came for. One punch, hey, $60 for one punch, I'd be mad. I see me going in there, trying to do what I always do, and work my game plan and fight hard. And the outcome is going to be the outcome, and me with my hand raised, that's it. I go in there, I try to entertain, and I'm a regular guy, so, you know, everybody can relate to me, and I'm simple. Everybody that knows me, I joke around, and you can see that I'm having fun when I'm in there. I don't take too seriously, but I take training and fighting seriously. But I have fun more than anything. I like to honestly shop. I like to go to the mall. All right, I like to go to the mall, see people, and yeah, that's one thing I love about Toronto. A lot of people, and I love to eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Junmar, Emon.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Not from a broadcast perspective, I hope.
I always try to work that in on any broadcast I work on. It makes me laugh every time I see that. But nevertheless, here comes Junmar Emon.
Last fight, he defeated Ryan McGrady of Truro, Nova Scotia, as seen right here on Championship Boxing. Before that, the much taller Daryl Perrin, also a featured bout on Championship Boxing.
It was a very interesting road for both of these fighters. Junmar Emon had a different opponent as late as last night. And here he is now with a completely different opponent. And I tell you what, a completely different opportunity.
A big opportunity for Junmar Emon. His fighter is here in Mississauga, but when Brandon Cook, who was supposed to be the co-feature tonight, had no opponent, Junmar Emon agreed to fight Cook.
The man who has fought every single one of his professional fights at the Hershey Center, save for one trip to the Maritimes a year ago, set to make his entrance with hundreds of his fans, friends, and family in attendance. It's his fourth fight this year. As the fans whirl into a frenzy, here comes the bad boy.
Brandon Cook, a perfect 7-0 his last two fights. Victories coming via TKO. The third round in his last fight over Ferenc Zold. A second round TKO victory before that against Zoltan Surman.
You got to respect the guy who's very honest about why he started to fight. I got into scraps in high school every week. I thought I should channel my energy a different way. That's exactly what he did. And here he is with a very promising boxing career as we go to Pierre Bernier for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout of beaming is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division and is proudly brought to you by TransGreen Protein. The judges for this bout, Alan Davis, Jeremy Hayes, and Harry Davis. And the third man in the ring in charge of the action, the referee, Rocky Zolnacek. Introducing first, in the blue corner, he weighed in at 152 1/2 pounds. wearing black, trimmed with red. His professional record, a perfect one. Undefeated with 2 wins. From Toronto, Junmar, Emon. His opponent in the red corner. He weighed in at a solid 150 pounds. Wearing blue, trimmed with black. His professional record, absolutely perfect. 7 wins and no defeats, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. From Ajax, Ontario, introducing Brandon Bad Boy Cook. Your referee, Rocky Zolniche.
Okay, guys, I gave you instructions in the change rooms. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Come out banging.
A quote from Mississauga.com from Brendan Cook. I think this is the best shape I've ever been in. Time will tell through this contest as we get set for this 4-rounder. But I tell you what a story on how this fight came about in the first place.
Well, about 8 or 9 different opponents backed out from Brandon Cook. One from Georgia, another from France. Recently divorced, went to get his passport, it disappeared. Not sure if his wife had it, ex-wife had it or what. But Junmar Emon saw this as a great opportunity.
Not good when you get your former significant other's passport in the settlement. That sucks for the other party.
Well, Junmar Emon, he's sparred with some of the same guys as Brandon Cook, and he thinks he can beat him here tonight. He's the underdog, but he's looking at this as a perfect opportunity for him. He's in great shape, the best shape of his life.
As we saw in the highlights previous to this bout, we saw Junmar Emon in a war in the Hershey Center the last time out. As well, Brendan Cook in impressive victorious fashion, as he tries to land a big jab right there.
Both of these guys supposed to fight other boxers tonight, so there's one less fight on the card, but I think fans will get more than their money's worth with this one fight as opposed to these guys fighting other opponents. They match up great.
Both these men have been known to land big hooks to the body. Brendan Cook has done that to the point of making his opponents quit, while we have seen lead left hooks from Junmar Emon. So watch for the hooks in this contest.
His hand speed, and yes, that leading left hook, that's what his trainer Rick Soucy mentions about the greatest attributes for Junmar Emon. And I'll talk about Soucy. His trainer a little later fought Hector Macho Camacho at the height of his career. But these guys are going at it toe-to-toe.
Very spirited opening round in this one. You got to wonder that both individuals are very aware that this is a 4-round contest, so if they want to make some impressive highlights, they're going to have to do it right away.
They are. Now, Emon's trainer does expect this to go the distance. He says both of these guys are in great shape. He doesn't see a one-punch flash knockout, but he does expect just an absolute war.
Brendan Cook in the feature was talking about Al Bernstein in the comments he made about comparisons to Brandon Rios. I called that fight with Al. Shout out to Hall of Famer, one of the best in the business. And Brent Cook, with every outing, is showing more and more. Look at this, look at the poise, look at the calmness as he even eats an uppercut right there, but still continues to go forward. Junmar Emon, of course, nobody to stop that, and a big shot right there as this round winds down. And both men happy to exchange early on.
Now the fans showing their appreciation. What a great first round, and it's only going to get more intense through the next 3. And there is Junmar Emon. Rick Soucy fought Hector Camacho in Puerto Rico in 1988. Of course, Hector Camacho killed recently. His funeral just recently in New York, where he grew up in the Bronx, is a Was born in Puerto Rico, though. Just a great experience, Susei was saying, coming off the plane. Cameras there greeting you as we look at some of the action here from round number 1. And a lot of action in that first round, but Emon, as we saw in his last battle with Ryan McGrady from Nova Scotia, took some bigger shots than he took there in round number 1. He's still feeling fine in his ring, in his corner. Oh, but Brandon Cook, the 7-0 prodigy, looking pretty slick, connecting with some shots late in round number 1. That was a close one. I might give it to Cook.
Both fighters eager to get the second round started, and both fighters very happy to exchange. We've seen that relentless pressure from Emon in his 2 professional fights, and Brandon Cook just keeps coming forward. He is relentless himself. He has faced adversity, particularly in his debut, but since has definitely made examples of his opponents, garnering a 7-0 record with 4 KOs.
Well, Cook just so happy to be in the ring tonight. He wanted to thank Don McDonald and Tyler Buxton for making this fight happen. As of 10:30 last night, he didn't think he'd be in the ring here tonight with several hundred fans of his already with tickets purchased. He wants to put on a show, and he has so far.
Very interesting point, very good point, in the sense that he even weighed in just hoping that an opponent would be found, and an opponent was found, and he's standing in the ring right now, and we see a very exciting contest right now. Both men just happy to trade and put on a show for the fans here.
Cook may be controlling the center of the ring a little bit more than Emon, connecting with a few body shots as well, as we saw him talk about in his feature. Talk about the hometown crowd here for Brandon Cook. Junmar Emon from Parkdale in Toronto. Boxes out of Stockyards Boxing and Fitness, also an instructor in that gym. Oh, nice hook by Emon.
Oh, Cook landing a shot right there against the ropes, going to the body. Notice those hooks to the body. And we'll see that as a theme, and it has been a theme in Cook's contest, as Emon looking for a counter. Nice uppercut there, but again, another hook right there by Emon. Again, a 1-2.
That unorthodox lead left hook by Emon has been effective.
Cook seems to be beginning the exchanges, but Emon seems to be finishing the exchanges. Very interesting dynamic in this fight. Both men, obviously, no time to prepare for the other, so this is all based on what you're learning in the gym.
Well, Cook watched Emon's fight this morning. He didn't know he was fighting him until this morning.
As we wind down round number 2, and it ends the way round number 1 ended with some shots right there. A few landing, nice flurry by both men.
There's a look at Brandon Cook in his corner with his trainer Mike Guyette. They also work together at that glass business, Protect Glass. And now here's a couple of the hooks by Bad Boy. One of those did land. Really hard to call that second round. And this is right near the end when the two boxers exchange a flurry like they did at the end of round number 1. Cook maybe getting a little better of Emon right at the end.
Once again, both fighters meeting right in the middle as soon as that bell rings. And Cook almost rang Emon's bell with that shot right there, as he is going body, head, body right there. Trying to lay on the pressure, but Emon not relenting, lands a counter of his own and backs Cook up.
Emon not phased at all, but Cook taking it to him right now aggressively, but those guards of Emon were up there. Not many punches were getting through. And now look at this. Emon turns the tide with the aggression.
And Cook using his power to turn Emon around. And back to work goes Cook. Against the ropes is Emon. You have to give credit to both individuals, like we said. Took the fight literally on hours' notice. Oh, look at that right there. As Emon tries to jump into a couple of hooks there.
He connected too. And you saw it looked like Cook wants to tie him up. I think he might be hurt a little bit.
Cook trying to rally here as he throws a few punches into Emon's guard. Trying to break it down, but can't. But has him against the ropes. Very quick pace by both men.
Oh,
big shot
pace
there, but Cook continues on. Emon trying to explode his way out of the ropes and does so.
A mouse under the left eye of Brandon Cook. There's a big uppercut. Caught him flush. But Cook keeps coming forward. What a fight.
Against the ropes. And Cook now. Oh, with a big counter. And Cook, though, still coming forward. But Emon very happy to counter. And again, Cook trying to dodge and weave his way out of that situation. Emon doing very well with the counter punches. And again, another big shot. Emon doing very well in this fight, where a lot of people have ruled him out.
One person who didn't was Emon. He knew he would be right in this bout. Oh, big uppercut again.
Beautiful uppercuts, doing the counters very, very well, and tries to land that uppercut again. What a spirited contest, especially this third round that we're seeing right here.
Great heart by Cook. He has Emon against the ropes, but Emon's the one landing the harder shots.
The pace slows down just for a second, then you see an explosion. And Emon again trying to land a big shot right there as round number 3 winds down. Boy, this is a tough one to score, Roger. Maybe not this round, but the fight itself.
That second round was close. It could go either way. I had Cook with the first round, and this is Emon's round, so it's a toss-up right now.
Well, this fight certainly has been interesting and got even more interesting as we go to the last round with a lot of questions unanswered.
Well, there's that veteran trainer, Rick Sousay. Started his career 14-0, the owner of Stockyards Boxing Club. He'll have some great words of encouragement for Emon as we look now at Brandon Cook. Cook got hit with some hard shots in that third round. He needs to sit back, cool off, regroup, and come back here in the fourth round. He might have the first 2 rounds under his belt.
As we take a look at some of the highlights from this round, Roger.
Early on, it was Cook, the aggressor, not landing a lot here. He did land a couple, mind you, but then from the midpoint of that third round to the end, Emon landed a few power punches.
A lot of resiliency shown by both men. Cook showed some resiliency in that third round, taking a lot of counters from Junmar Emon. As we go to the fourth round, this is your last round in this contest. I tell you what, pressure versus damage. You got to wonder what the judges are looking for in this particular bout, because we've seen both men apply pressure and damage.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one. Both of these guys have applied pressure, and both have landed some power shots. It could come down to this round right here. Who gets the decision on the judges' scorecards? Or maybe it's a draw, but a lot of boxing left in these 2 warriors.
Again, a counter shot lands by Emon as Cook was trying to go to the body. Those hooks to the body. Uppercut there, trying to land as well. Very spirited affair. Each round more exciting than the last.
Well, Cook has settled down a little bit here in the fourth round. If he gets leaning forward, that's when Emon has caught him with some uppercuts.
Again, a counter shot there by Emon. Oh, a big lead cross right there again. Oh, and Brandon Cook may be wobbling. Hold on a second. No, in fact.
Oh, he was wobbling.
The referee was separating them. You certainly did see a two-step right there.
I think
a wobble
Emon
by
held
Brandon
him up.
Cook.
The right eye swelling up on Emon, though.
What an interesting bout we have here. Again, those hooks to the body, but Emon able to find a solution there to rock Brandon Cook with 55 seconds left in the last round. If you're wondering why this bout is only 4 rounds, it is because the bout was announced today after trying to find a plethora of opponents, as we mentioned at the top of this fight. Very happy are many people that Brandon Cook is even in the ring today. And boy, has he found great competition today.
He certainly has. Emon's loving it. He's smiling in there.
Showing some great resolve. But Brandon Cook still coming forward with just over 10 seconds left in this contest. What a great performance by both men. Both men landing some great shots. Brandon Cook has been wobbled in this fight, and this will go to the judges' scorecards. Very spirited 4 rounds, Roger.
This will be interesting to see how the judges score it. Cook may have gotten the first couple of rounds. Last 2, I think, go to Emon for sure. That's at round number 2, depending how the judges score it. It'll be very interesting. Too bad it was only 4 rounds.
Sometimes a perfect storm brews out of unfortunate situations, and that's what we found in this contest here. 4 extremely spirited rounds as we take a look at the highlights from the last round. And boy, Emon had situation throughout the entire fight. He had Cook wobbling, and he landed some great shots. Cook showed resolve. He came back. Some great counters by both men. And boy, very interesting to see how the judges will score this one. But you gotta wonder, no matter who wins this fight, we may very well see these two back in the ring again in a rematch. Of course, this is your co-main event. Still to come. The big one, Denton Daly taking on Moro Ordiales, El Atleta. But boy, both fighters are confident that they won. Even the referee saying, yeah, I'll give you guys some props. That was a great contest. Very spirited, hotly contested. Both men undefeated. Brandon Cook 7-0, Junmar Emon 2-0. Who will win this one? The judges have made their decision as the fans eagerly anticipate the outcome, the decision announced by our ring announcer, Pierre Bernier.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 hard-fought rounds, we go to the scorecards. But before, let's give these two fighters a tremendous round of applause for a barn burner. All 3 judges, Alan Davis, Jeremy Hayes, And Harry Davis see it the same way, 39 to 37 for the winner. And still undefeated, Brandon, the Blackbird Cook.
So Brendan Cook gets the decision, 39-37. A mixed reaction from the crowd here, as you see a lot of people standing up and applauding, but you do hear a chorus of boos as well. Junmar Emon, though, raising his opponent's hand in victory. That was a spirited contest, I tell you. No shame in this loss. We could very well see a rematch between these two. The promoters here might have found lightning in a bottle with these two, as Roger Wardell will get some words with the winner.
Arda here with Brandon Cook. Brandon, you took this fight on late notice. As of 10:30 last night, your opponent, you heard he wasn't coming into town on the airplane. Junmar Emon accepted the challenge. Talk about the performance of your opponent here tonight.
He did a great job. Like, my opponent changed like 3 or 4 times. Like, last night I slept like 4 hours. I didn't even think I was gonna fight today. He took the fight this morning. Like, I gotta congratulate him. He fought a hard fight. I think it could have went either way. Like, it was a tough fight. Like, I'd like to watch it over again. He did a good job, but like, I still felt that I did win. But either way, like, it could have went either way. It depends where you're watching it, right? So, I wish it just could have went a little longer. It could have went like 6 rounds at least, and then we would have seen what happened. But other than that, like, I give him credit. Like, I didn't think he'd be as good as he was, right? So, like, I kind of took it a little lightly. Either than that, like, I'm gonna get back to the gym and train even harder. I thought it was a good fight.
Oh, it was an excellent fight. The only shame is that maybe it was only 4 rounds. Looked like maybe early in the fight you took it to him a little bit. In the 3rd round, he definitely took it to you. Did he hurt you there? It looked like you were stumbled and he held you up at one point.
No, I wasn't hurt at all. Not at all. I just slipped when he hit me. Like, none of his punches hurt, but he did throw hard. I'm gonna give him that. He threw hard. Like, I don't know why everybody's booing. Like, we just gave you all a good show. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. All my sponsors, Trans Clean Protein, St. Louis, Home Life.
Nope. Brandon, thank you for your time. That was a great fight. You're 8-0. Congratulations. We'll love to see you back here in the ring at the Hershey Center. Thank you. Junmar, if I could you come in here for 1 second? Junmar, I asked Brandon about you. He was very complimentary. Can you talk about the heart of your competitor tonight?
Brandon, everybody knows how tough he is, how strong he is. He's a naturally bigger guy, and I always step up no matter what. And it was a good fight, and I always come to work hard and work to the last bell, and I thought I did that tonight. I thought I won the fight, as every true fighter thinks he wins every fight. And yeah, I didn't get the win today, but in my heart, their hearts, I won. So
now, Junmar, you weren't supposed to win this fight. Now, you didn't on the scorecards. Many people disagree. It was a very close fight, but you thought you could win. Tell me why. What led you to the point that you thought you could come in here tonight as the underdog and defeat Brandon Cook?
I think I can step up with anybody. That's the main thing. And he's just another guy, and I think I could beat anybody, right? You put someone in front of me, I'll fight to the last bell, or I'll fight till he goes down, and that's the way I roll.
And I take it you'd certainly be up for a rematch.
Hey, anytime, any place, tell me when and what weight.
All right, Junmar, thanks a lot. Great fight. Congratulations on the performance.